Now, I said on election night that Labor governments open the doors of opportunity and we widen them for those who come after us. We do that by investing in education and in educators, from the early years to school, to TAFE, to university. And we do it by helping more people know the security of a place to call home. I know I'm not the only person in this room who's here because public housing changed their life. A home is the foundation on which you build everything else. There is nothing that lets you reach higher than a solid floor under your feet, nothing like a roof over your head, to give you the sense that the sky is the limit. My mum and I had the security of public housing when I was growing up. Life wasn't easy by any means, but the simple truth is it's harder these days, and harder for so many more Australians. Harder for people who need public or community housing, harder for renters, and harder for first home buyers. The fundamental answer to all of this, of course, is supply, building more homes. And that's precisely what we've been working on every day in government. More community housing, more build-to-rent accommodation, a $2 billion social housing accelerator for urgent construction and renovation, and our Housing Australia Future Fund, which will invest in tens of thousands of additional homes for essential workers, for veterans at risk of homelessness, and women and children fleeing family violence. Of course, the Coalition oppose all this because they have a prejudice against public housing and a pathological problem with ever saying the word yes. Their only housing policy of the Liberals, virtually their only policy in fact, is to push up prices by allowing people to raid their superannuation, stealing from tomorrow to make the problem worse today. And the Greens political party aren't interested in solving the problem at all. They just want the issue, the campaign, the social media content. They revel in the hypocrisy of voting against affordable housing in the parliament, protesting against it in their electorate, and then making memes calling for action. They want more signatures on their petitions and more followers for their accounts. We want more homes for more Australians. They are the blockers, we are the builders, and we're getting on with the job. Yesterday at National Cabinet, we brought together every state and territory government to agree on the most significant set of reforms to housing policy in a generation, and I thank the leaders for their support in that reform. Strengthening the National Housing Accord to help Australia build an additional 1.2 million homes before the end of the decade. Modernising the planning and zoning and approval processes so we can build more homes more quickly and closer to where people want to live and work. Closer to public transport and reliable services, connected to friends and family. And delivering a better deal for renters right across Australia. A fairer rental market with stronger rights for tenants and greater security in your lease, because where you rent is your home and it should feel like it. And while all this is about improving rights and rules and reform across Australia, it's also about the sense of pride and security and connection that a home provides to every Australian. And today I'm proud to announce to this conference that as a result of the agreement that we secured yesterday with every state and territory government, our Help to Buy plan will commence next year nationwide. Our government will help 40,000 low and middle income families buy a home of their own. So often these Australians have done all the right things. They've worked hard, they've saved up, They've made sacrifices, but a deposit for a home is still out of reach. What our government will do is step up and put in our share, opening the door of home ownership through the shared equity scheme to tens of thousands of hard-working people. We are the party of the great Australian dream, and we are going to keep that dream in reach of the next generation of Australians.